What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. This story's called, "We're from Hawaii!" Recently, I have been listening to some of the YouTube videos about this particular Octothorpe, and after a bit, I decided to write my own Octothorpe I Don't Work Here Lady story. About 10 years ago, my family and I went on vacation to the happiest place on earth, Disneyland. I was a freshman, about 14 at the time, weighing about 115 pounds, hip-length hair mostly tied up in a ponytail, and sporting some sort of black attire with shoes. I should explain that being from Hawaii, most of us are a melting pot of ethnic backgrounds. I myself have about 7, including a Hispanic background that would soon be my downfall. I do not speak any other languages aside from English and had only taken a few courses on the Spanish language as an elective for high school. We were a rather large group, being 15 in size, and I was the eldest child of the group. One morning, we were downstairs eating a continental breakfast that the hotel provided, and everything was going great. As we finished up our breakfast, it was my job to help clean up the table since the parents were getting the younger children together for our big adventure. I made a few stacks of plates and started to shuffle off to the trash cans. Along the way, a child no older than maybe 4 comes up with his tray and says, "Kids me, can you take for me? I too small." I smile and pat him on the head as he places his tray on my pile. A few others try to gather my attention and I politely ignore them because we are kind of in a hurry. The next shuttle to Disneyland was in about 15 minutes, and the other one after that would be over an hour. I head back over to our table to gather the cups and a few lingering plates and start walking over to the trash can yet again. Enter the new character, housekeeping lady. She spoke in very fast Spanish with a concerned look on her face. "Sorry, I don't speak Spanish very well, so I don't know what you're saying," I sighed.
"What do you think you are doing? Why aren't you helping gather the other plates and clearing the tables? Do you think we just pay you to walk around with your head in the clouds?"
"I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused. I don't understand." Housekeeping lady grabs me by my arm with a purpose and whisks me off to a less crowded area of the lobby and laces into me.
"I don't understand why you aren't helping these guests. I put my neck on the line for you and this is the things I get. I told your mom you weren't ready to work in the industry. What the hell was she thinking?"
"Wait, you know my mom?" I responded quite confused because we are like the title says, from Hawaii, which is over 2,500 miles away from the resort. Mind you, I'm in a black tank top, black shorts, black Converse with my jacket tied around my waist and my hair up in a ponytail. Their uniform is a blue button down, black slacks, black shoes, and hair in a ponytail or at least up in a bun. I don't resemble anything close to what an employee would look like. I looked much older than I was at the time and I can understand the confusion, but hello?
"Oh, now you're gonna pretend you don't know me. How freaking ungrateful. How dare you, you lazy bench. This is the things I get for getting you a motherfreaking job."
Then proceeds to, what I assume is, curse me out in Spanish. Enter new character, Awesome Grandma.
"What do you think you're doing here? We're ready to go. We're leaving now. Everyone is on the shuttle."
She proceeds to grab my arm and take me away from this crazy bat. But alas, housekeeping lady was not done yet and decides to kick things up a notch. Housekeeping lady grabs my jacket from my waist to stop me from walking away, looks at Awesome Grandma and says,
"I'm sorry, ma'am. She's not going anywhere. We are having to retrain her and she will not be able to assist you onto your shuttle. If you want, I can call someone over from the front desk to assist you."
Awesome Grandma is obviously confused, and rightfully so, since she did not hear all the things this lady has said to me up until this point.
Excuse me? I don't think you understand.
Housekeeping lady cuts her off and says,
"She is going to be retrained and will not assist you."
"What do you mean by this?"
"I will finish what I was saying before you rudely cut me off. This child is my granddaughter and we are leaving now." "Oh, you're her grandma. That's funny. I've been to
friend's name
house and have seen pictures of her mother and her husband's mother and you do not look like either of those women. I am going to have to ask you to release my employee and leave immediately before I call security to have you removed."
Awesome Grandma is completely about to lose it. Instead, she lets go of my arm and walks away. At this point, I'm just thinking, oh my freaking god, why would she leave me here with this crazy bench?
Now that the liar is gone, we have much to discuss. First by retraining you, then by calling your mother.
Look, you crazy bench, I don't work here. I'm not even from here, I'm from Hawaii. This tone obviously sets this lady off because I see whatever screw it was holding everything together just burst. And as she was about to lace into me yet again, in comes awesome grandma with a new face, manager on duty. What seems to be the issue here?
Oh, it's nothing, sir. I'm just trying to retrain a new employee. You'll never guess what she said. She claims that not only has she been to Hawaii, but she lives there. Do you know how crazy that is? She just started here and thinks that she has enough money to live in Hawaii. The audacity! I've been working here for 10 years and even I have never been to Hawaii because of how expensive it is.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you alright? He said, looking at me. No, this crazy bench decided to pull me away from clearing off my family's table and caused us to miss our shuttle and called me many things. And to top it all off, she decides for herself that I am lying about where I come from. Housekeeping lady, you're gonna have to come with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You must not recognize her out of uniform. This is
Friend's name that also happens to be an employee.
daughter. She is new here, so I don't think you've met.
She calls me by friend's daughter's name. No, my name is Vivian, not Bonita Joe, I basically screamed. Awesome grandma pulls out her wallet and hands the lady out Disneyland passes, which at this time had our names printed on them, along with her Hawaii state driver's license. Housekeeping lady, what the hell has gotten into you? You're basically kidnapping a guest, zipping them around, calling them profane names and harassing them? I'm sorry, but as I have said before, you are going to have to come with me. Manager on duty motions for us to follow along to the front desk. He takes housekeeping lady to the back and proceeds to hand her ass and crap attitude back at her. A few moments later, housekeeping lady walks back out, basically white as a ghost and presumably jobless, looks at us and doesn't say a single word and walks off to, I assume, gather her things. Manager on duty is mortified and gathers himself before coming up to us and profusely apologizing for his employee's actions. Manager on duty doesn't ask if he can do anything for us and instead tells the front desk to type up a paper and gave us free manager's reception, basically a 2-hour time period where they have snacks, pizzas, and drinks for about $5 an item for the duration of our stay, 7 days to go. He then motions over to the valet captain and asks them to shuttle us down the road so we can finally be reunited with our family at Disneyland. Awesome grandma and I are still dumbfounded till this day about housekeeping lady and her mistaken attitude. Oh no, that just sounds really unfortunate. Oh man, I don't have much else to say other than that's just a big unfortunate mess of events. Oy. This story's called Old Lady Mistakes Mugger as Employee. I work for a convenience store that has a strict always comply with muggers policy. I think because it's cheaper for them to deal with losing whatever's in the register than fighting a suit from an employee hurt defending it. I've worked here off and on for the last 5 years, and I've been in the store for 6 robberies. They're usually pretty straightforward. Guy comes in, give me the money. We do. They leave. We call the cops. The cops don't do anything. We have cameras, but this neighborhood has such bigger problems they never follow up on petty theft. One of those times, though, the kid didn't wear a mask, just a hoodie, comes in with the hood up, young kid, couldn't have been more than 18 to 20. He paces around for a while, I guess trying to get his nerve up. I figured he was an underage kid trying to work up the courage to buy some beer up first. It was really early in the morning and we were the only people in the store. He approaches the register and says he has a gun, doesn't pull it out, was probably bluffing, and that he won't use it if I just give him money. Talking all tough about, don't try anything, I'm not the one, etc. I pop open the register and he jumps behind the counter to take the money out. As he's doing this, an old woman comes in. Now I was getting really nervous because I didn't want the old lady to be in a dangerous situation, but before I could react, she recognizes the kid. She runs up to him and says,
Oh, Noah! Hello, dear. How are you?
And the kid just freezes behind the counter, hands full of cash. She's older and I guess deaf, so she's shouting,
I didn't realize you'd gotten a job. Good for you, dear. You know, I just saw your mama the other day and she didn't mention it.
He's like, no, I don't, but she isn't listening.
Your mama never tells me anything.
I don't work.
Don't interrupt me, hon. Anyways, your mama never tells me anything.
And she's just chattering on, and she starts shopping. I'm just standing there, frozen, waiting to see how this plays out, with the guy still behind the register with me. The kid was almost a foot taller than me, and I didn't want to get into an altercation if I could help it. She goes through, and she's shopping and goes,
Noah, hon, could you help me reach this, please?
And he's like, I don't, and she's like,
what, are you gonna make me beg here?
So he goes over and deadass starts helping her get things from high shelves. She's like, "Is this really the best price you've got for this?" And he's like, yeah. While he's doing this, I call the cops. I think he knows I must have been doing that because he's beyond antsy. At one point, he tried to bail, but she was like, "Hold on, don't clock out yet. I'll just be a minute. I want to see you at work. This is so exciting. You're all grown up." So he's standing there, awkward and panicked, trying to make a decision. Eventually, she goes to check out, and I scan her items, keeping an eye on him. She goes, "Oh no, can Noah check me out? He's my friend's son, and I didn't know I was visiting him at work. This is so exciting!" Wanting to keep things cool until she was out of the store, on the off chance the kid did have a weapon of some kind or wasn't stable, I just stepped aside and let him check her out. He didn't really know how to use the scanner or anything, but he got through it. She leaves. Once she's walked out, he runs out of the store and jumps into a car. He didn't get any money from us. It was another 20 minutes before the cops got there, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. But that was the most memorable robbery for me, as robberies go. Not sure if this story fits this sub, but when I saw the sub, I had to share this one. I mean, he technically was working, kinda, just not for us. I'm wondering if maybe she knew it was a robbery and was trying to, distract him from doing a very stupid thing, obviously. But I mean, is it really that stupid if you could get away with it? Because, I mean, that neighborhood sounds really bad, so I mean, the police gotta be busy. I'm kidding, I don't condone robbing, sorry. It's a bad decision, guys. Even if you can get away with it, doesn't mean you should, because you shouldn't. My dad's old gas stations got robbed a lot. There was this really small town that we lived in, and one of the gas stations was there, and the high school had like 80 students in it, so everyone knew everyone really. And this one idiot, high school student, he came to rob the store with a shotgun, but he was wearing his Letterman jacket with his name on it. Guy was an idiot. He got caught like right away. What an idiot, man. This story's called I Have a Clipboard. Bit of background. I'm usually in my government-issued uniform or jeans, looking very teenager-ish when I'm out and about. So looking smartly dressed is almost never happening. However, I have something special coming up and went to Tora to get a nice business-esque outfit. I felt pretty, so I changed from government uniform into outfit and went out to get grocery shopping done. Now, I use e-meals, and I like to print out the grocery list so I can add prices and keep a running total. To make this easier, I use a clipboard and a mechanical pencil. A few people give me props for this, and most, of course, ignore me, which I prefer. However, I'm posting here. So cue me being at the local Walmart where a few items I keep track of prices is cheaper than Kroger. Standing there with my clipboard, I'm dressed in my pretty outfit, feeling semi-confident and rocking YouTube SCP stories on my earpiece. I'm ignoring almost everyone around me and looking for a bag of frozen peas. It looks like someone just took out all the bags and chucked them back into the freezer and hoped the door would close. Finding a different bag, I stepped back and consulted my grocery list. Changing to my second page, I check the bag in my cart and make a note on the page. Delving back into the frozen mess, I finally make a noise and start separating the bags in their proper spots. Muttering on how people should have been ashamed at themselves, every so often I toss a bag I need into my cart. That's when I hear him. "Just gonna ignore a black man? Stupid bench doesn't know her betters." Pulling back a bit, I glance to one side. "Oh, gonna pay attention to me now?" "Me?" Looking back to my cart, I just look at the older guy standing there and giving me a vile look. Who? I felt like my mind had blue screened. "You, stupid bench, just ignoring those who need help." "I'm sorry?" Still confused, I let the door close behind me. "Now, where's some frozen item?" "I don't know. Course you wouldn't want to tell me, you racist bench." His voice has gotten raised and a couple of people looked over, but no one is doing anything. "Sir, I started to feel uneasy. Only my cart was separating us and you could feel this guy's anger. "I don't care. Now where is item?" "I don't know. I don't work here." As if by a shining light, my saving angel turned the corner and let out a bellow that could make any kid scatter. She was shorter than me. I'm 5'5", hair under a proper Sunday hat, and a purse that could knock a disobeying kid back at 20 paces.
Name! What in the Lord's good graces are you doing to that child?
"Well, she looked like she worked here with a list and all." The man looks like he knows the wrong word was going to put him under the doghouse.
That's her grocery list, you right fool! Doing it the way her
Nan trained her. Her voice seemed to change to another person as she looks at me.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Forgive that fool. Good idea to use a clipboard. Keeps the writing neat.
Yes, ma'am. I am almost squeaking, as I certainly knew I couldn't take this fierce mama's wrath. I don't know what he's looking for. I just need peas. She glances at the still messed shelves, plucks open the door, and by magic, hands me the bag.
There we are now. Now you better get so these don't thaw. And so lovely you look too. Be blessed, dear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Your hat is lovely. I grab my card and back away as she gives me a smile before it vanishes and she looks back to her now shrinking bow. I don't know what trouble he got in. I have a feeling he's not gonna make that mistake again. Nice older women are so nice. I'm sure we can all agree with that. However, old ladies are either the nicest or the meanest. There's no in between. I don't know what the hell happens. As you age, your brain just sort of streamlines your behavior, I'm assuming. Because you never meet any just averagely decent old people. I mean, sometimes, but that's rare. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.